Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so very much for dropping by this channel. To anyone who's new, this channel is dedicated to helping people understand the difference between traditional non-duality, specifically the school Advaita Vedanta, and modernized, watered down non-duality called Neo-Advaita, and how to recover from it. It's very harmful, Neo-Advaita. And a warm welcome back to any of my regular viewers. So, I just so I've been deconstructing Neo-Advaita for about 5 years now and recovering from it. And like every day, every week, there's a new insight. And I'm just seeing now so clearly how literally dangerous it is to study non-duality, Neo-Advaita, without the direct guidance. Non-duality in general, whether it's authentic, whether you're reading authentic text or you're reading watered down Neo-Advaita, just without the direct guidance of a guru. I just don't even have words. So the short version is someone left me some nasty comments on Quora. I write on Quora. And some of it was like personal attack, but some of it was like, presenting their understanding of non-duality, saying things like non-duality is absolutely ascetic, meaning turning away from the world. And non-duality absolutely insists that samsara, the world creation, doesn't exist. And so this person's utterly convinced that what they're saying is true. The problem is with these views, which I used to hold, is they're partially true. And they're partially delusional. And so it's that thing, that's what makes Neo-Advaita so sticky. And my definition of Neo-Advaita continually expands and continually gets more simple. And one of the simplest definitions of Neo-Advaita is studying non-duality without the direct guidance of a traditional non-dual guru. Because without that, it's very easy to get lost in one's head and to spin all these interpretations. So, I've had the pleasure of recently meeting someone who really fell under the guise of Neo-Advaita, and their story is amazing, and I may have them on here sometime. Basically, they were wandering South America, doing a lot of ayahuasca and I think other psychedelic substances as well, but definitely ayahuasca. And so they were just kind of wandering around, and they would hear these different Neo-Advaita teachings, and then doing a lot of ayahuasca, and then like kind of forcing themselves to believe and live these teachings. One of them being like, hey, I don't exist. There's no me. Another one being, I'm going to surrender completely to reality, and whatever reality gives me, like, I'm going to go with that. And this person got in a lot of trouble because there is a profound practice of surrendering to reality. And as this person finally realized after a lot of suffering, a lot of misadventures, that there's also the absolute necessity of setting boundaries, of saying no. So this person basically just said yes to everything that happened to them, and to all their thoughts and feelings. So and here's where the rubber meets the road. Like, ultimately, we're not in charge of reality, and surrender is necessary. However, to do so before one has cultivated a healthy ego and healthy boundaries it'll just lead you to dark places, because it's kind of a false kind of surrender in which you basically suppress your likes and dislikes and and just you say yes to everything, even though it would be authentic to say a no. Now, traditional non-duality can lead you to the place where you say yes to everything. And Ramana Maharshi lived and demonstrated a life of that. However, it's a very gradual, gentle process, not something that you just like force or you just like step into and be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna live now. To do so is really an act of dishonesty and an act of violence, because without proper boundaries and also without truly having the capacity to just roll with whatever life throws at you, then it sets you up to participate in abusive situations. And this happened to me personally. And my second deep exposure to Neo-Advaita was in an actual cult. Like they made it on 60 Minutes kind of cult. And I was just like, there is no me, the world doesn't exist, like horrible Neo-Advaita. So then when unacceptable behavior was done to me, so then I had no boundaries. And I just surrendered to this cult. And it led me to just really dark places and really just kind of crazy dark places. So one of the big differences between Advaita Vedanta and Neo-Advaita is Advaita Vedanta, or any traditional form of non-duality, is a process. That can lead you to this place of surrender, that can lead you to this place where what we think of as the I, as the personality, it really is in the background. But if you try and force it into the background, which I did, and this amazing guy who I just recently met, the guy of the South America ayahuasca guy who went on his journey, if you just like push it or suppress it, it's very devastating and harmful. And that's a big sense what this channel is all about, is helping people to understand and recover from the effects of, we could call it suppressive. Neo-Advaita truly, it just suppresses the personality. It doesn't deal with it. It doesn't integrate it. So it's been quite a journey for me to start reading traditional books such as Adi Shankara, such as the Gita, and to seek out traditional gurus. And it's just night and day. I've shared this so many times. When I had a one-on-one conversation with a traditional Advaita guru, an actual Swami, and the first thing he said to me is, "What do you do for work? Like, how's your relationship with your family?" Like, he got to know me. You go to a Neo-Advaita teacher, and the first thing they'll tell you is like, "You don't exist," or "You are consciousness." And then just kind of repeat things like the world doesn't exist. There's nothing to do. And then just kind of repeat that over and over and over and over again. Traditional Advaita Vedanta is a process that, yes, will lead you slowly, gently, gradually, even over lifetimes, to a place of detachment from the world and asceticism. But you try and force that, and oh my God, a disaster, truly a disaster. So those are a little of my thoughts here and now. And I wish everyone a beautiful, beautiful Neo-Advaita free day. Thank you so very much. Take care.